What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into the lounge. I'm your host, Jukebox Ginger. You guys know who I am. I don't have to explain that. I'm on episode like 85 or some shit. I don't know. But I've been around a while. And for those of you who follow me, know how this works. And today, my special guest has been on probably 7 times in the past. Maybe more, maybe less. Daniel Jackson, how you doing, man?
I'm a special guest. That's awesome on the lounge. That's awesome. Yeah, that's
He
cool that you come with something like that. Yeah, doing okay. Just doing a normal shift. I'm up early because I got to go to two doctor's appointments today. So,
Are they anything important or just like basic checkups?
foot doctor first one because I have a little wound on the bottom of my foot. When you're diabetic, you really got to get that taken care of all the time. But it's almost completely healed up. So
That's good.
that one's not a big deal. I mean, it must not be that big of a deal because when I went to my foot doctor last week or 2 weeks ago, he said, I'm going up for a ride on my motorcycle. You want to go? I was like, is my foot okay to go? He's like, yeah, come on. So we went for a motorcycle ride. So
That was you and your doctor?
yeah, yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, yeah, my foot doctor. Yeah, he rides a bike and him and I talk about bikes all the time. So him and I and a buddy of his went for a ride. And then after that, I have to go to my chiropractor. So that's just a back cracking right there. But yeah, he looks
That's
like a
nice.
real skinny Elon Musk.
It's funny. I have 10 visits to go to the chiropractor covered by my insurance, and yet I've never gone.
Really, you should go, man. It's amazing. It's
I really
amazing.
should. I've never been to a chiropractor in my life.
I did the last time I was there. Um, I did some of my spirit medium Daniel stuff where uh, these two girls were out in the front office and they said, well, it was 2 times ago, and they they said, "Do you see anything around us?" And the one girl, I said, "Yeah." I said, "I see a woman behind you. She keeps telling me that she's your grandmother and her name is Sally." And she's like, "Sally? I don't know who that is." I said, I don't know a grandmother named Sally." I said, "Okay." And so I went back the next time 3 weeks later. And when I did, she said, "Mr. Jackson, I got something to tell you." I said, "What?" She said, "I found out I have a great grandmother. Her name is Sally." And I said, "I can't make this shit up. Out of the gazillion names that are out there in the world, how the hell would I know that?"
Right? Yeah, it's because you were told.
Because I was told. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, crazy
You
stuff.
know, and speaking about that, you have a book that you just published.
I do.
Let's
Where
go
is
ahead.
it?
Let's go ahead and talk about it for a few minutes here.
This is my book that I just had published. It's called Daniel Jackson: The New Beginning: My Awakening as a Spirit Medium. See
Hmm.
that man? His kind of silhouette looks like he's walking to a bright white light.
Hmm.
That's yeah.
I love it. So, the cover art, was that your idea, or did somebody help you come up with that?
Actually, that's not actually me.
Well, yeah, but
we uh, we we were trying to get pictures taken, and we just couldn't get one that looked good. So we actually went online, and we had to actually pay for this picture. Now we paid for it, but we can use it for however long we want to. But and we actually ended up paying, I think, $12 for it. So we licensed it.
yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah,
why not? It looks
yeah,
good,
no, yeah.
and it's not a crazy large book. It's
No.
something you could probably read in a couple days.
I've had people tell me they've read it in like 3 4 hours
Yeah.
because they said once they started reading it they couldn't put it down. So so they read it in like 3 or 4 hours, and then and I have a few reviews on Amazon, and every one of them's a 5 star. And I don't know who these people are. They just read it and then they write something really cool about it. So
That's
it's
awesome.
it,
Is that
yeah.
where can you buy the book?
You can find it on Amazon. You just go on Amazon, you put in the search bar, Daniel Jackson, The New Beginning, My Awakening as a Spirit Medium. And I tell people to put the whole thing in there. That way it'll come up. And then it'll come up and you can buy it on paperback or you can buy it as an ebook as well. My wife and I have talked about doing an audio book, but we just still haven't got to it. That's going to take a long time to do because
I'll do it for you. You can hire me. my soothing vocals.
Yeah, your soothing vocals. Yeah, at the lounge. Yeah.
I did have somebody tell me the other day I had a radio voice. I said, "Oh, well, I'll take that as a compliment."
I would say more or less you have a radio face.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I've been trying to. I used to do like the green screen, and then I got tired of my teeth like blacking out and stuff from the green screen, like affecting everything. So I think I'm gonna purchase like a blanket or like a big portrait with all like my different little characters that I post on. You see my little clips that I post where I make like little characters in each one of the clips?
Yeah, you always that's one thing that's cool about your show too. Is you always change everything up a lot of the times. It's not the same old freaking thing all the time as so many shows have.
I try to be consistent with that.
What's that spot right there on your blanket?
Right here? Right here?
Yeah.
That's a light behind the blanket.
Is it?
It's a ceiling light. That's a ceiling light. I'll figure it out, man. It's
light coming through.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I just had a thought.
Obviously, from the size of it, it's a pretty small thought. But,
okay. Yeah, it's very, very small. I never have a big thought, so
yeah, who does?
Hey, so I did found some extremely stupid but interesting questions. If I was to, so I'm going to interview you with these questions. I don't know what we're interviewing for, but we're going to ask some weird questions. Sound good?
Weird questions are usually the most interesting questions.
So if someone gave you an elephant and you couldn't sell it or give it away, what would you do with it?
Wow. That's kind of strange. That's
it's a strange question.
So if you couldn't give it away, that means you wouldn't be able to go to a zoo and give it to them. So they don't want it, and you couldn't sell it.
Something tells me that there's something wrong with this elephant. I'm gonna go with you have a like deformed inbred elephant, which is why you can't sell it or give it away.
But no one's ever been able to sell or give me away either. So and look, I'm in gray, so I would be the elephant that
but you're a married man. You got kids, you've been bought.
I have stepkids. I don't have any kids of my own.
But you're a married man. You've been.
Yeah, I am a married man. Pretty much like a kept man. But because look at all this. But man, what would I do with it? I guess I would just try to keep it in my backyard. I wouldn't keep it chained. So that would be hard, though, because I wouldn't be able to keep it chained up. Because who wants to be chained up? I don't. So
right.
So why would I chain something up like that? Because that would be cruel and unusual punishment. So I would just do the best I can. I would probably try to find a space that I could keep the elephant. Then again, man, I live out here in the desert, so there's plenty of
area for it to live.
But yeah, I would turn it loose right out here in the desert and just said, "Have at it, elephant,"
Put a little tracker on him so you can go feed him every now and then.
Yeah, stay away from peanuts.
I would make I would have a house built with like 20-foot ceilings.
That's a big house.
Instead of I would house train him, and then those like grabbers that you can get at the Walmart.
How are you going to house? How are you going to house? I went to the Ringling Brothers Circus when I was a kid, and there was a guy who came out because the elephant started to take a shit on the floor, and then the guy went underneath the elephant, and just as he was going underneath the elephant to shovel up the shit, he looked up and went, "Oh," and ran out, and another big shit just missed him. So how are you going to house train an elephant to not just take a big peanut shit in your house?
I mean, I would just want him to grab stuff really high up for me. That's all. I'd just train him to suction with his nose and grab me things that I did.
So you're going to keep everything you have up on these really tall shelves and say, "Hey, elephant, snap to it."
Yeah, and I can I'll even train him to be like a protective too. So I'll put like a beware of elephant all over my windows.
If I came to your house and saw a fucking elephant, I'd be like, "Oh, fuck. See you later." Yeah. No.
I'm not going in there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I don't know.
what is the gooey stuff that's in between elephants' toes?
I have no idea.
Slow running natives. That's what they are. So, I don't want to be that. You know?
And I've never noticed. I don't think you could tell if an elephant's happy or angry. Every time I've ever seen an elephant, I mean, you can't tell what their mood is.
Well, you'd be able to tell if that elephant was angry or not, or happy or not, if everyone walked in your house and everybody there was shit all over the place and everyone was dead.
I wouldn't need any like couches or chairs. I just like spray some scent on their poo and then throw a blanket on top, and there'd be seats for everybody.
That would be a shitty seat in my.
It'd be like a bean bag. It's a really warm bean bag.
That's a peanut bag. That's what that is. That's not a bean bag. But yeah, I don't know if yeah, your house would smell like shit, and I don't know if I guess you would get used to it after a while. I have 9 cats here, so I walk into it, but I mean, I just walked out into the kitchen. I was like, whoa, which one of you just took a big shit? But yeah.
I love cats, but one thing that I hate about cats is sometimes they will piss or shit right next to their litter box. So they know where to go. But like if they're mad at you or something, they'll intentionally not go into the litter box, but they'll go right next to it.
We have 2 of them here that go right. They'll piss in the box, but they shit right next to the box, and I can't get them to go in the box. So we put these mats down underneath the box, and it's a drying type mat. So everything goes to the bottom except the water does. And then here in Arizona, everything evaporates. Like when I wake up in the morning and I go out to feed the cats, whatever food is left over within a few hours completely dries out. You just scrape it off. It's hard as a rock, so that's it.
Yeah,
we just scoop the poop up and then throw it in the box, or when we're cleaning the box. Well, we got 4 boxes.
You moved there during the pretty hot time of the year. Does it get pretty warm?
I was told that it was super duper hot here, but we live you would think because we live in the lower part of the state, I'm only 12 miles from Mexico. And I've been to Mexico twice, and I don't recommend it. But you would think it would be super hot there, but up in Tucson, which is 70 miles away, and then Phoenix is like 4 hours away. Up in Phoenix, they say it gets up 120, 130. Down in Tucson, it gets up around 100, sometimes 110. We've been here 9 months now, and for maybe 2 weeks, it was like 99, 100, and that was it. One time it reached 104, but there's no humidity, so you're hot, but you're not like sweating, like drenched in sweat type of hot. It's just it's baking you, but even today it's like, or yesterday it was 85 degrees, but because it's no humidity, what I would be used to back east, it would feel like it was 75 degrees. It was just nice.
Yeah, Kansas City has terrible humidity. I mean, it'll hit 100, but you're like walk out the door drenched in sweat.
Yeah, you get out of the shower, you sweat. You get outside, you're done. You're completely soaked.
I had a guest on who referenced it as imagine walking into somebody's mouth.
Yeah,
that's literally what it feels like.
Yeah, it's just, and you just it's all over you.
That's gross.
And you wake up the next day and you think, okay, I'm gonna get a shower, and then you're just repeating the whole fucking thing. But not down here. I mean, it's just really, I don't know. It's hard to get used to. But I don't think that was the hardest part. The hardest part in the very beginning was I came from Delaware, which is a elevation of 0. When I got out here, it's 4,500 feet. So
right.
Yeah, I got elevation sickness, and then I got the flu, and then that was really bad. But
I was gonna say your first couple of months, you got like you and your wife both kind of got a little sick, didn't you?
Yeah, really sick. Yeah, I was bedridden for like 3.5 weeks. I lost 3 pounds. Obviously, I've been eating. I gained it back. So yeah, well, I gained back around 20 pounds of it. But yeah,
good. Next question says, if you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room for the rest of your life, what song would you choose and why?
Every time someone posts something on Facebook, they always have this big, I see these pictures of these big giant speakers, and they always say, what song would you blast through here? And I always say the song called Long Time from Boston, from the band Boston back in the 70s, early 80s. It was just, I don't know, it's just this one song. It's got this really ripping guitar riff in the very beginning, the solo part. And it's just, it starts in, bum, 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 bum. Kind of gets louder, and the guy just blick him on the drums, and he hits this really high note on the guitar. And it's just screaming, and that's one I would always want to hear. And every time it comes on the radio, man, I'm cranking it up, because it's just that one song. That there's some songs out there that I really like, that they really resonate with me, and what I mean by that is you get the goosebumps from it, and that's
Yes,
one of the songs. Yeah, that one. Carry On Wayward Son. That's another one. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah, but there's a couple of Kiss songs in there somewhere. But yeah, that song. What about you?
There's two. I mean, it would depend on if I would want to be comical or if I would want to be serious. So there's a band called Dead Letter Circus that has a song called "Here We Divide," and I mean, it's pretty. Everybody's got a different personality, you know. So like, if I walked into a room blasting "Here We Divide," I think it would make people think and probably ask questions,
Sure.
which would be really awesome. At least in my opinion. I think it would be really cool to be like, oh, well, you know, why this song? And I can't convince anybody to be anything that they're not. So, and I don't want to. So I think would be a really great song for me and what I do. If I wanted to be more comical, I would want to do the Jaws theme when he starts to approach that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a good one. I'm now thinking about it. If you walked into the room and that song, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. You're like, oh shit, you know.
That'd be perfect, actually.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with me, too. Yeah.
Or Janie's Got a Gun.
That would be a good one. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to do that if you're walking into a bank
or a school.
Yeah, or a school. Yeah.
As serious as that is, also funny, but it is serious.
Yeah.
It's sad that can't be just a joke. You know what I mean?
Right. It can't these days, because unfortunately people think that having a gun is you're just gonna go in there and solve all your problems, when you're just creating more than you thought you had.
And another thing is, like, people are, man, it seems like later as it becomes more common now. You know what I think it is it's more of a social media thing.
Sure.
It's always been a thing.
Yeah.
There's always been shootings. There's always
when I was a kid, going to school and then going into high school, our friends would be like, "Hey man, come out to my truck, man. You gotta see what and they have a shotgun sitting in their truck. We would bring them this. Oh, look what I got for Christmas. Look what I got for my birthday. That was a common thing back then. Now you can't have them, but because because of the fact that a lot of the social media has caused social distancing before it was called social distancing, because the children today, they have a lack of social skills, because they're all sitting around staring at their phones. They're talking to each other on their phones. They're not out playing ball or hanging out and playing kickball or something like that. They're just sitting there staring at their fucking phones all day. They are the ones that are going to need chiropractors, because just because when you have your neck like this all day, that's causing 70 pounds of pressure on the back of your neck the whole time. They're all going to be all creaked up in about 10 years, because they're all fucked up. They're just ridiculous. It's
Always on
just
their phone.
ridiculously stupid. You always see the videos on YouTube. Somebody walking along with a phone, and boom, they run into a fucking sign or something because
Mhm.
they're just not paying attention. These are the ones who get in accidents and because they
Oh
don't pay.
yeah. I'll be at work doing something and like almost hit somebody because they just walk out in front of you on their phone, not paying any attention.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not too bright, but the gun situation is about to change. Uh, Credit card companies just announced a couple of days ago that they are going to start. So when you will go to a sporting goods store and buy a gun or something like that, or anything in that sporting goods store, it has a special code that comes up and it just says sporting goods. Well, now the credit card companies, this is their way of getting rid of guns. Now they're going to track, they're going to have a new code for guns and ammunition, and it's going to track you. And what that means is if you buy like a couple of guns in one day and a shitload of ammo, now you may not be able to make that purchase because the credit card company is going to see, oh, he's trying to buy a gun and a shitload of ammo, and they're going to go, no, and it's not going to go through. The purchase won't go through. And well, it's good to a point, but this is the way of the country disarming people, because if they know they're going to be tracked all the time, every time they go to buy a gun or some ammo, because what happens with that information is that they take the information and they send it to the FBI and the ATF, and then the ATF will come to your house and question you about it.
Right.
So what they are doing is every time you go to buy something, you're going to be treated as a criminal. Now it's not. Now it just starts there with ammo and guns. But what happens with this whole new world order that's coming in? That's telling people, oh, we're going to regulate your food. We're going to regulate. How are they going to regulate it? Because you're going to go to buy some meat with your credit card, and it's going to go ding, and you're not allowed to have it.
And they're raising prices. They're raising prices faster than they're raising cost of living. So like,
right.
I mean, it's so hard. I can't buy a meal for my family for less than $30-$40 now.
Right. Yeah. This is how back in 2020, this is when they were going, they were saying, oh, you go to a store and you try to get some change. We don't have change. We want you to just use a card. This is what they're trying to do. So if they can get everything electronic, and we go, oh, well, that makes everything easier, then they have control of what you buy. My wife tried to buy an app with her debit card, and it was overseas for her phone. And when she did, we went to go use our debit card at the grocery store, and the card wouldn't work. And it failed on us like 3 times. So we went to the bank, and then what the bank told us? Oh, well, that app isn't on our list. So we turned your card off. They didn't call us. They didn't send a letter.
Did you say they turned off her card?
They turned the card off. So we turned it back on. She tried to buy another app. Again, the card stopped working again. We had to go to the bank again, and they told us, oh, yeah, well, this one wasn't on the list either. So we turned it off again. They didn't tell us they were going to do it. They just did it. What did we do after that? We got rid of that card and got rid of that bank. We took all of our money out, went to another bank. But this is how they're going to start controlling everybody, by monitoring what you do, because they can monitor that quick. Oh, they're buying something we don't want them to buy, and they'll just turn it off.
I remember when you said that. I remember when there was that corn shortage too. Like no matter where you went, nobody was taking coins.
Right, but that's the thing. There wasn't a shortage. They just weren't taking them. That's it. Because we all know, we all have a big fucking jar around here with coins. There's no shortage. We always turn them into the machine. There's no shortage. They just tell us this stuff, and then everybody believes it, and this is what happens.
It's funny that we're talking about guns and change. I've seen videos where people build their own guns that shoot like quarters and dimes and nickels, and they put them in these bundles to make the bullet.
Yeah,
and they'll like break through trees. So if somebody wants to go and do a shooting and you keep them from that gun, do you really think they're not going to find another way?
Right. Or what did they just have in Canada, where they took all the guns away in Canada just recently? It was just pistols, and now they took them all away. And then they just had a big mass murder. They called it. Wasn't a shooting now because there's no guns. mass murder, and because the person went around and stabbed 12 people. And then there were 19 other people who also got cut from this guy, but the 12 people died. So if I can't kill you one way, I'll kill you another way. It's not the guns.
It's a mindset. It's not a gun. Yeah, it's the mindset.
Yeah.
And
yeah, crazy shit. But this is how they control the world. But their idea of controlling everybody is failing. Not doing good.
Right. It's nuts, man.
It's crazy shit.
I do have a random question here that says, if money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches?
Yeah. It goes with that saying,
that's just like trying to keep guns from people, Just,
right. Yeah. It doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't. It makes no sense. No. Guns are meant to be for protection, or gaming or game. If you're a hunter, and that's something that you use, but it was never meant to be to kill people, mass shooting. Why?
No. But the problem is like the Constitution. The Constitution was written so that we as people could not be overtaken by our own government, because that's where we came from. We came from England, a tyrannical government, and then we came over here to start our own government, but apparently it turned out to be a tyrannical government as well. But the Constitution was written to protect us from the government. And what is the government constantly doing? Constantly trying to change the Constitution so they can have power and control over us. That's what the whole Constitution is based on. So we don't get them persecuting or prosecuting us for everything. But what does our government do? They do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't do anything wrong, all you can do is just be mad. But then, you can tell people who do things that are wrong because they're always looking over their shoulder. They're always worried about getting caught doing something, it's just, I used to be that way, when I was 19, 20 doing stupid shit.
Right.
But it's only going to get worse. Like you said, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, like I always tell people at the end of my shows or something like that, I always tell them, be good and don't do any stupid shit. And everybody goes, oh, I don't know if I can promise that. And I always say, well, if you're going to do stupid shit, just don't get caught.
Exactly. It's funny because I tell people all the time when I used to get in trouble for doing stupid shit, it's because of the positions I put myself in. Not necessarily what I was doing. It was that I put myself in stupid situations. That's what got me in trouble.
By the choices that we make, and that's the basis of what I do. Is I tell people to make better choices. But not everybody does.
What is a better choice if you weren't raised to know what that is?
You're learning throughout your life to find out there's only two things you're ever going to make decisions for your entire life. There's no right or wrong. There's no epic failures. There's no mistakes. There's only what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, you quit fucking doing it. But not everybody can do that. If you walk, like I explained, if you walk through a doorway and there's a nail on the floor and you trip over the nail, what's the lesson to learn? You go get a hammer and you bang the nail back in so you can walk through that doorway freely. But some people don't do that because they don't learn lessons very well. They'll trip over that nail 4 or 5 times. Or what they're basically doing is making this, what we would call mistakes. They just don't learn from it. They'll do it over and over and over. And every time they think they're going to do it the same way and get a different result. You're not. It's just, they don't learn, If I ask out this guy and he's a piece of shit, and this one's a piece of shit, and this one's a piece of shit, what do they have in common? Oh, well, they all had brown hair and blue eyes. Okay. How about you go out with a blonde? Oh, I never thought of that. Whoa. Change it up, make a different decision, because we're again, there's only what works and what doesn't work for you. But it takes sometimes people to do what doesn't work for them a few times till they find out what does work for them. That's all. It's not a mistake. It's not a failure. You just did something that just doesn't work in your favor or work for you. So you find what does, but the world wants you to think everything you do is a failure because they want you to believe that you shouldn't have any trust or any faith in yourself. But it's quite the opposite. Have faith in yourself, have trust in yourself. You'll do better things. and then you'll realize that you don't need these other people, they telling you what to do. They need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. But who am I?
No, you're just another guy. You're just another guy, Daniel. That's all you are.
Dead people. That's all. They don't. What do they know? They don't pay bills and they don't drive. They don't have to pay insurance and all that stuff. They're just walking around living an uninterrupted life. But our lives are interrupted by the choices that we make. And
well, I mean, it doesn't help that you're raised with the social media and stuff to just stare at all day either.
Right. Right.
And a big part of that's on the parents for allowing it to happen.
So. Right. Well, you could do it. You have a thinking mind that could tell you, maybe I just won't listen to it.
Yeah.
I could not listen to it. I don't have to be on Facebook. I don't have to.
Yeah.
1,000 selfies all day and wait for someone to tell me that I'm beautiful. Maybe I'm already beautiful. Maybe I'm already a good person. And how about if I just believe in that and then I don't have to ask for it all day long? Because if you're doing that all day long, you have a self-esteem problem, and go get that fixed.
Right. Yeah.
Or fix it yourself.
Or they'll throw money at you and say to keep doing it. Now.
Yeah, they will. TikTok, right? Yeah.
Companies are all like, we'll pay you. Look at all your following because all these beautiful pictures you're posting.
And what does that help? Nothing. It produces more power struggle, more greed.
Yeah, and that I think that has a lot to do with why there's such a struggle for employment now too. Honestly,
why go get a job when I can sit around my house and make really stupid fucking videos?
Yes. The worst part is that's literally how I started this show.
Well, but
to make fun of that.
But what do? You get up every day and you go work a job and you support your family and
this is
you doing that too, so that's very commendable.
Yeah, this is just me getting away for an hour and having some me time. That's all it is. I don't I know guys who can push out 4 or 5 episodes a week. More power to you, but I've got a family. I don't want to. I think a show a week, maybe 2 every now and then is okay, but this doesn't run my life, and it's grown just the way I've done it. So
we put out 1 show every 2 weeks. That's with our show, but I do like 10 or 15 interviews a month. So I'm always got something going on, but I mean.
But it has to do with what you do. Your interviews are about what you do.
Everything is what I do. Yeah, I don't. And we have enough shows actually recorded right now that are sitting on our computer in a file that I don't have to record any more shows until next year. But I continue to do it because I like to talk to people. I like the interesting things they tell me. I learn.
Exactly. Same here. That's why I do it. I never thought I would still be doing it, to be honest. When I first started, I just thought it was gonna be something funny to try out.
Yeah, me too. I was like, maybe I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'll give it a shot. But man, it's coming out.
Yeah, man. All right, another little funny question here. Being that you live in Arizona, imagine it's the middle of summer and the only way you can make money is by selling hot chocolate. How would you do it?
I'll tell you what. You know what's big around here?
Huh.
Hot dogs.
In Arizona?
Everywhere you go around here, there's fucking hot dog stands. Everywhere. Really? We just went to a place the other day called 143 Street Tacos. Man, this place, the food in there is freaking, but they have hot dogs in there. We have a place. We go like 30 miles away down to this town called Bisbee. On the way in, there's a place called Jimmy's Hot Dog. There's fucking hot dogs everywhere, these places are packed.
That's weird.
Yeah, eating hot dogs in the freaking heat out here. So I don't doubt that if I was selling hot chocolate, I wouldn't make money. I don't doubt it.
That's weird. That's crazy. Because here, I mean, in the middle of summer, 110-degree weather, it probably wouldn't happen here.
Usually when you go someplace to a restaurant, and if they're serving chili, they're usually serving it in the wintertime. Not here, man. They serve it all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what my wife loves to do? She likes to do cinnamon rolls with chili on top.
What the fuck is that?
It's a thing. I mean, I looked it up. It's a thing. It's it's literally a cinnamon roll with chili piled on top of it. It's good.
I had something years ago. I was out on this date with this chick and lady, and we had pancakes with a fried egg on top. It was really good.
I mean, I could do it with like a over easy egg or something. Have that yolk running onto it.
That's what it was, basically. Yeah. I was like, she's like, try it. I was like, man, I don't know. I tried it. I'm hooked.
The weirdest thing I ate growing up was peanut butter, mayonnaise, and banana sandwiches.
Peanut butter and what?
Peanut butter, mayonnaise, and banana sandwiches.
Yeah, I almost threw up in my mouth. That's
I mean,
I was like, ooh.
it's actually, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to explain that either.
It's not bad. You can't make. That's not something that you can make sound good.
No, there's nothing about that sounds good at all. I would say, yeah. I'll go outside and eat. I would rather go outside and eat a bag of shit.
There is a restaurant around here that sells a peanut butter, sriracha, and over easy egg on a hamburger.
Oh my god!
Also, very good. It's very good.
Really. Yes. I don't know. I like sriracha, but I don't know about peanut butter on a hamburger. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't something. But then again, people eat donuts with bacon on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean or they make hamburgers. Some people make hamburgers and use the buns, or like the donut as the bun.
I guess that would be interesting. I don't know. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different fascinations with food and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I guess I would give it a go if I don't know if that would be my idea to go, hey, I'm going to go have a hot chocolate place here in Arizona, because that's weird, right? I mean,
it is. I mean, it would sound weird, but like if it was like its own thing, it could be big. I mean, I don't know.
It could be, but I don't know if I would want to take a chance on that. But then again,
I don't know how you would sell the idea to a company to invest in it, you know?
Well, like on the East Coast, we had something out there that we were all eating. Everyone eats it. It's called Scrapple. And Scrapple is what they say on the East Coast, every part of the pig except for the oink. So in other words, like what you eat in a hot dog is everything that's left over, and then they just mash it into mash, and they put a casing around it, and you get a hot dog. This is the same thing with a pig, except when it comes out, it's this big brick. It's kind of peppery taste, and it's gray. I mean, it's gray meat, and you're like looking at it like, what? And then you fry it on both sides, and you put a little ketchup on it, and then you eat it. But I can't. I've only found when we first came out here to Arizona, we couldn't. I looked any place to find it, and we couldn't find it. So on our trip out here, we actually bought a cooler so we could. I bought like 30 bricks of this stuff out here, like 3-pound bricks of it, just so I could have some. But now we just found out we could get it at the PX on the base, because my wife's a vet.
Okay.
And so that's the only place we can find it. But
what's the do you know that deli meat that like comes in gelatin, and it's like a bunch
yeah, man, it's got, you see little pieces
chunks of different meats.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, that's kind of like looking at what's that shit? Around Christmas, the fruit cake or something like that.
Oh yeah, and it looks gross.
Yeah, it's got a mint flavor too. It's got mint gelatin around it. Yeah, no.
I'm trying to look it up here. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen that in the deli, but I don't think I've ever tried it. But
I have no interest in trying it because it doesn't look appealing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things in this world that I have no interest in trying because it doesn't look appealing. But
This kind of plays into the next question, which is, what is your least favorite scent?
my least favorite scent.
Yeah, like something that even maybe the thought of just makes you get gag.
Jack Daniels.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like that specific whiskey?
Yeah, I drank so much of it when I was a kid. There was one time I got really sick off of it. Now, if I even smell it, I'm like, oh man. And I haven't had that since I was probably 23 when I
Wow.
quit. I haven't had a drink. I don't drink anymore. I haven't had a drink in like 15 years.
Me either.
But I'm diabetic. It really affects me. But yeah, yeah, you either. Yeah,
I was waiting for you to catch on to that one.
yeah. Yeah. As soon as I smell that, it's just, oh man.
For me, it's Dove soap, just the original scent Dove soap.
Really?
Yeah, I grew well because when I was in trouble, whenever I'd get in trouble as a kid, I'd have to eat soap. I'd eat soap,
really?
and it
Wow.
was always Dove soap. The scented, those weird scented ones are fine, but just that original Dove scent makes me gag.
So you have no Dove soap in the house?
Not basic. Like they have like a rose flavor, like scented, and all these. Those are fine, but like that, yeah, no, not the basic.
I have original Dove soap right here in my bathroom. That's what I use.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, yeah, I can smell it. Yeah, and that's all. I don't use shampoo. I mean, this.
Yeah, well, you don't really have a lot of hair to wash.
I'm
there.
done. That's it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that. And then what about what's one scent that you really like that is probably weird to some people?
Oh man. I don't know if that'd be weird, but I do miss this when I would be out on the East Coast riding my motorcycle, going down this one particular road, uh, had all these pine trees on it. I miss that.
Yeah, the smell of pine trees, like just fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, fresh pine. Yeah. I don't know.
I like the smell of gasoline. I don't think that's very rare.
I like the smell of gasoline.
I don't think that's a rare thing, though. I think that's pretty common.
No, I see people sniff all the time at the gas station. But
also,
about that.
Fresh asphalt, like when they're just laying down that asphalt. I know it's a weird smell, but
really?
I actually don't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the smell of fresh cut grass. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's something about. I mean, I mowed so many yards in my days. I think I'm used to the smell, but there's nothing about it that goes, fresh cut grass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. Or well, back east, there was a lot of farms where I lived in Delaware too. Did not appreciate the smell of chicken or horse shit. That's for sure. You'd be riding around your motorcycle, and it just, oh man, even in your car, it just gets in your car and permeates. Oh my god, it's the worst.
This says, why is it that people say they slept like a baby when babies wake up like every 2 hours?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, right?
It really doesn't.
Yeah, no. I think they think babies just sleep right throughout the night, but these are some of the things that we tend to forget as the older we get. We think, oh well, it's a baby. I must have slept like a baby because I was all cuddled up. And no, babies are always screaming and crying. There are so many things that we say about different things we tend to forget. Like a lot of older people, they see kids doing dumb shit and they think, why would you do that when they themselves were doing some dumb shit when they were younger? But they
now people do dumb shit because it's hashtag trending.
Right. Yeah, let's go eat some Tide Pods. No.
Oh, here's another one. Why do you have to put your 2 cents in, but it's only a penny for your thoughts?
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense either.
No, it doesn't.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Or like the alphabet, like it said, why is the alphabet in order? Like, if that does kind of make sense in a way, because whoever made the alphabet, who decided that that was the order it needed to be in?
Uh, I would say because of the way that it sounds, because everything kind of there are certain word letters in the alphabet that have will end in a E sound: A B C D
Yeah,
E F G
yeah.
H I J K L M N O
It does
P.
kind of flow. I think it does
Yeah,
flow better that way, I guess.
yeah. W X Y Z. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All right. I got one more question to make you think here.
All right, yeah, I got time for
Obviously,
one more.
obviously, totally random. But would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100. What was that again now?
100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? So they're all small.
So either got a bunch of little tiny horses chasing you, or you have one massive duck chasing you.
Wow. I think I would go with the 100 small ones because I could just kick them out of the way
Just
if I needed to, if they were chasing me, sure.
right.
But one big giant one, how you go to, I mean, that's like having a horse come after you and try to take you down. The horse is probably going to win.
Right. Well, and my thing is like, you ever try to feed ducks at the park? Like
Oh,
you
man,
feed them
you're
bread,
tripping over 'em. You're
and
tripping over 'em.
they like won't leave you alone. Once you start feeding them, they like are all over you.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend and I used to do that. We used to go to the zoo all the time, and they had geese out front, and we would always stop at this one store and get like 2 or 3 loaves of bread, and then we would go over there. But yeah, they're attacking you, and they're attacking each other and shit, and you're like, oh shit! And next thing you know, you're surrounded by 100 geese, and you're like, oh fuck! And then you walk out there, and you think you had a great time, and your shoes are covered in goose shit. So
Just imagine that being a horse-sized one. Just
yeah,
one.
yeah. Well, with horses, they got teeth, so that's a different deal,
Yeah, but if they're the size of a duck, I guess it wouldn't hurt as bad. I think I would rather deal with 100 little horses than one massive duck that has a beak that could just rip your damn arm off.
Uh, or 100 little horses that could take 100 little bites out of you, and then you're just as screwed. I mean, yeah, those geese would come after us and snap us, and we'd be like, oh shit, And then a couple of weeks later, we'd be back doing it again. What was I
It's
thinking?
so
Why would we do
cute.
this again? Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, but no, but yeah. Either way, one of those things you're going to get shit all over you too. So
Yes.
I don't know if I would have rather have a bunch of little shits or one big giant massive shit on you.
I mean, bird shit doesn't smell nearly as bad as horse shit.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Or I don't know about the taste. I was riding my bike. There was one time I remember 5 times in 1 week I got shit on by a bird, and one time it actually hit me in the mouth, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I started licking my lips, and all I could taste was berries. So I knew it was bird shit. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, but and it didn't taste good. But
Well, and that's another thing. Like, I would imagine one massive sized duck. Like, that shit is so gross. Like, bird
yeah,
shit is the ugliest looking, is the weirdest, nastiest looking shit of all
I
animals.
got shit on by a seagull one time riding my bike, and it just splattered right down my whole arm. I was like,
So gross.
oh fuck, man.
Now, if
But
that was a horse-sized seagull, that would have been your whole
luckily,
body.
yeah, that would have took
The
me off the
bike and
yeah,
all.
yeah, that would have took me out. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. No.
Hey, this. I'm glad that you're still doing this with me. I mean, we've been friends since the beginning of this, so I really appreciate you still being around and
Yeah,
still,
man, I appreciate you being around. Every time I'll just be, and this is the thing, I'll be sitting around, I'll go, Man, I haven't heard from Dylan for a while. Next thing you know, boom, you are, and are like, what's going on? Oh shit, hey, what's up? Yeah, we're always checking in with each other just to make sure everything
And
is
that's
okay, and that's a good thing.
yeah, man. And that's something that I try to portray in everything that I do, because I've had other, other guests on, and I keep in touch with them. I
Yeah.
do. I'll randomly just say, "Hey, how you doing?" And people are shocked.
Yeah,
It's sad, but it's like I'm not just having them on my show. I'm trying to build a friendship with people, you know?
yeah, and that's what I do. I do the same thing. I have a couple people that have been on my shows, and I tell them to friend me on Facebook, and I still keep in contact with them. And
Yeah.
I just had a guy yesterday who uh, check in with me because I told him some stuff about what's coming and all that stuff, and he checks back with me every couple of months just to see. And then I will tell him something to go, oh yeah, well I never paid attention to that. I'm like, oh, there we go. But yeah, yeah, I try to keep everybody well informed of what's going on, or the things that they're not paying attention to, but
Yeah.
so they do pay attention to them. But yeah, I try to do the same because I see dead people all the time. I talk to them all the time, but you know what? I still have to take out the trash. I still have to empty the dishwasher. I'm still a human being.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's nice to be able to keep in touch and
Yes.
to see how people are doing, and we
Yep.
all live different lives. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all living different lives, but we're still doing the same types of things. We just do it a little bit differently than other people, but we still do. I mean, you have people you go to work with every day, so whatever they're doing at home, they still end up at work every day. So,
right.
you know, we're all different, but we're all the same.
And with that, folks, we're gonna wrap up another episode of Stardom. Daniel, thanks again for coming on, and we'll be in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Yeah,
when
man,
I
it's good to see you.
when I get to a point where I've read your book, we'll talk. We'll come on and I'll talk shit about your book. Okay.
That'll be great next year.
I'm busy, man. I get
I
busy.
know you're busy. I know, but you're a good type of busy. So hey, you know what?
Yeah, it's never a bad thing. Hey, and I do appreciate you sending me that copy and that lovely
Why did
note.
well, I sent that copy for two reasons. One, because we're friends, and two, because you wrote a forward in the book for me. So yeah.
Well, and I meant every word of it. So yeah. All right. Well, we will be in touch, man.
That's why I got rid of it and put my own words in and just put your name under it. No.
I thought some of those words looked different. I'm just kidding.
Condensed.
All right, man. Well, you have a wonderful day, and you and I, of course, will be in touch.
Yep. I'll talk to you soon, man. Be good.
You too. Have a good night or day.
Night. Later.